Oh yeah, it's time to get your streaming devices ready. Load them up and press play. It's time to Netflix and chill with Tom and Reuben.
Dude, Eli hit me up the other day, and he's like, dude, do you want to come up to Evanston on Thursday to see a early release of Us, the new Jordan Peele?
Dude.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be able to make it, though. That movie looks dope, though.
Us looks really good. I liked, what was the one he did?
Get Out.
Get Out. Thought it was a good movie. It wasn't scary.
I don't think it was supposed to be scary.
No, I think it was supposed to be disturbing.
Yeah.
More than it was scary.
Yeah.
And it was certainly...
See, I didn't think much of it was disturbing, but I think...
the racist pun, but it was certainly meant to have some dark comedy.
Comedy in it. Well, but I think it was supposed to be more just like fucked up. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Yeah, it was a very, very good movie. It was very well done, very very disturbing, but it wasn't scary.
He actually won Best Screenplay for that. Best Oscar for Screenplay.
I'm not surprised.
It was a fucking great script.
I'm not surprised at all. It was really, really good movie.
Again, a very, very original story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it was very Invasion of the Body Snatchers-ish, but like it was this weird cult of white people that decided to be brainwashed. Well, not even brainwashed, just had like their mind transferred into black folks.
It was fucked up, man. It
to
was
become
really
like
fucked up.
Their children's servants.
I dug that movie so much. I really, really did. I mean, as crazily unbelievable as the pardon me if I'm gonna. It's very sweet.
It is, dude. It tastes like frosting.
It's like
it's like cake frosting.
It really kind of needs to be in something.
Something, yeah, like some Coca-Cola.
But it's I like it.
Yeah, it's a.
You just have to be. You
Jim
just have to
Beam.
know it's there.
Jim Beam vanilla.
Yeah.
Like, God, this is gonna put me into a diabetic.
Well,
coma.
you just got to know it's coming. If you know that it's coming, then you're okay.
I went into that fucking blind.
Right.
Sir.
That's the thing. As long as you know that sugar rush is coming, you're probably okay. No, I really loved Get Out. I thought it was really good.
Yeah.
I'm excited about Us. I want to see that too. Us looks fucked.
It does look fucked up. It almost looks like a twisted version of The Strangers.
Yes, I thought the exact same thing when I saw it. And there's even a scene like in the previews.
Because they come up to the fucking doors with masks on and shit.
Excuse me, yeah. There's even there's a scene in the previews of like them on a bridge or something with a truck or something.
Yeah.
That kind of reminds me of that whole second the
second act.
The Strangers 2 or whatever.
Oh, I never saw the second one.
You never saw the second one?
No.
You didn't really miss much.
No.
It wasn't
Liv Tyler wasn't in it. Why am I going to watch it?
I mean, it was okay. It was okay. But The Strangers, the first one, to me, the first one is quite possibly one of the best horror movies of the last...
Yeah, it was fucking
certainly
dope.
of the last 10 years, probably of the last 20 years.
Absolutely.
I think, that ranks right up there to me with Vacancy, which is fucking phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I don't know, have you seen Hush on Netflix?
No, I have not.
You should check that out. That's a good horror flick, too.
Right on.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, that one's fucking dope. And then, dude, I saw Captain Marvel.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's
How
good.
is it?
It's
is
good,
it decent?
man. It's highly entertaining. It's fucking watchable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got Sam Jackson in the whole movie.
That's what I heard.
As a young Nick Fury.
This is delicious.
Yeah, fucking Pendleton, right?
Pendleton, this is really, really good.
Yeah. So which would you like better, that or the Rye?
I think right now, tonight, I like the Rye has I have to be in the mood to have a Rye.
Yeah.
Like it's such a unique flavor that
man, it gets that sweet right
in
the back of your jaw.
You're having a hard time with that maple syrup.
Well, dude, I've been
huh?
so far removed from sugar for so long.
It's very sweet. It's very,
but
very
with
sweet.
this Pendleton, man, you get
I like that.
You get some maple in it, a little bit of vanilla.
Yeah.
It's fucking good, dude.
Yeah. And
I stumbled across it.
This is good.
Decent cheap bottle of whiskey.
But Captain Marvel, I haven't seen it, and I know people are giving it shit, and all kind of people are giving Brie Larson shit or whatever. It's like, look, first of all, we're talking about a superhero comic book movie,
right?
Like, I mean, yes, there's this running story with the Avengers movies and all this and that, and that's great. And if you're into comics like I know you are, then the story is, I'm sure, important. To me, like somebody like me, look, man, as long as people are getting beat up, people are dying, and shit is blowing up, I'm fucking in.
Yeah.
I don't care.
You know, and like, it's fucking, like, I just dug it, man. I mean, it the way that the tendrils move in through the rest of the Marvel movies.
Okay.
Like, you're like, oh, so this is where this point goes to this point. Okay, I get that. And then you, like, find out the backstory of this and a little bit of that. Dude, it's fucking great.
And I think we talked about this a little bit when we were doing Thor, the whole idea of, 20-something movies now?
This is the 21st, I think, that just came
21 movies, and just the intertwining of this
continuity
running
of it
story.
All.
Exactly. It's really well done, and the way that it's subtle in some movies, and I'm sure I haven't seen Captain Marvel yet. I want to see it. I'll probably wait for it to come out on video.
Yeah, I mean, like, because really, in the scheme of things,
I say come out on video like that's still a thing,
right? But like, you know, because Avengers Endgame comes out next month.
Yeah.
So like the way that it ties in, I mean, it just gives you the introduction of Captain Marvel.
Okay.
Who is going to come save the day in the next movie?
I did not like the fucking last Avengers movie. The story,
Age of Ultron,
or
not Ultron, but the
one with
Infinity War.
What's his name? Infinity War. The story just pissed me off. I just didn't like it.
Really?
Well, because look, they're not all dead. I don't mean to spoil it, but they're not really dead.
No, because
it's like, come on.
Look, when you announce Black Panther 2 and Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and then they all of those characters turn to dust, it's like, come on.
I mean, come on.
But then again,
you know,
this is how comic books work.
I know.
You know, like, as we all know, in the Infinity Gauntlet, there is a time stone, so you know that time travel is going to take part of this.
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
So it is the way that it is.
Well, I know I'm gonna squeak crack. I should have done that before, but
that's all right. If you listen to the last pop, or it'll probably be 2 pop goulashes ago from here, the one with the Kiss the Sky guys, like you can hear thunk thunk. Steve was sitting in the blue chair, like, and he kept he was holding the guitar like a whoopee. Like through the whole episode,
knocking on it.
And he kept every now and again you would hear like that hollow stringy knock on the guitar. I'm like, dude, Steve, just put the guitar down.
Oh, jeez.
I love you, brother, but you got to put that guitar down.
Yeah. Well, this next Avengers movie, I know we'll end up going to see it because, Galen and Allison really, they'll want to see it because we saw Infinity War together, and they both loved Infinity War.
I dug it.
So it's like, okay.
You know, I mean, and as someone who has seen all of them, like, I dug it. I dug the hell out of it.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there are going to be certain characters that aren't coming back. Loki, I don't think, is coming back.
Well, there's a few that for sure aren't coming back, right?
You know.
Well, look, the whole thing, they've already proven that they're not afraid to kill characters off. They introduced Silver Surfer and killed him off in the same movie. So,
well, that was the Fantastic Four, and that's not canon.
No.
Are you talking about
maybe it's not Silver Surfer thing. Quicksilver.
Yeah.
They introduced Quicksilver and killed him off in the same movie.
Right.
So they're not beyond killing characters off, which is fine. I guess for me, the biggest issue with the last movie was I just felt like the Guardians characters were too front and center. I thought they were definitely the lead characters of the movie. I want to see more Captain America. I want to see more Iron Man. I want to see more Thor. I wanted to see more Vision.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was hard to see much more Vision. Vision fucking got his face melted.
Well, yeah, and will Vision be back? I don't know.
No, I think he's gone.
I think he's gone, and this is unfortunate because he's one of my favorite characters.
Really interesting.
I'm a big fan. Yeah.
You know, he had a Tom King did a run of Vision.
Okay.
And I think it went like 12, maybe 18 issues.
Really?
Fucking great story because it's like him trying to, like, he's still being an Avenger, but at the same time, it's more of a domestic story. Like, they created a wife and children for him.
Oh, really?
And his kids have the same powers that he does, and they're trying to integrate within, like, normie society.
So was The Incredibles.
It kind of, but, robot characters. It was fucking great.
I like Vision. Vision is, and I thought that the way it was done in the movie,
Paul Bettany is great.
He's great. I thought the way he played it was fantastic.
He was the few salvageable characters in Transcendence.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, which we
reviewed a month and a half ago.
A while ago. And
anyway, hey, it's Netflix and Chill.
Netflix and Chill.
I'm Reuben.
And I'm Tom.
And so those of you who... dude, did I tell you? We're on YouTube now.
I saw the post.
Yeah. So if you hear this and you're like, I hate fucking downloading my shit on my iPhone or my Android phone, you can stream us straight from fucking YouTube.
Straight from YouTube.
Yeah.
There you go. But there's no video.
No video. It just has our logo.
Oh, that's fine.
Just the Pop Goulash logo.
There you go.
So, but yeah,
cool.
We're on YouTube now. I figured it out because at first I was like, all right, I go into iMovie and I put the audio file and then I put a still frame and I was like, and then I go into Libsyn, who hosts our fucking site, and I'm like, I could just push this button and it'll fucking put it up there for me.
It does it for you?
Fucking A.
Have you been getting the emails from the companies that'll they do the graphics? They'll do the we'll put you on YouTube with graphics.
I have not, no, but I have been getting the emails from we can market your page. We can market this for you. And I'm like, I don't have any money.
When I was doing the podcast, when I was doing my own podcast, I had the guys would email you and get the, we can put you on YouTube with, with scenes and shit or whatever that correspond to what you're talking about, whatever. Click here for a sample, and it's like, fuck you, I ain't clicking no fucking.
I could do that too.
I just don't care.
Yeah, I mean, I could do that. I know how to edit.
I can edit a fucking video.
I learned how to do that shit in college, but am I going to? No. So you guys are just gonna have to look at the Pop Goulash logo and fucking deal with it. So, but yeah, so this week...
All right, this week we're doing what?
This was my choice this week, and we are watching a movie called Await Further Instructions.
Await Further Instructions, 2018.
18, yeah, so it was last year. It was a horror mystery sci-fi.
Bunch of people that I've never heard of.
Yeah, except for
a super hot Indian chick.
Yeah, David Bradley, who played the granddad.
Yes, played the granddad.
He's been in a bunch of shit.
Yes, I've seen him before.
He was in all of the. He was in all of those. He was in Hot Fuzz. He played the dad in the stepdad in Shaun of the Dead.
Oh.
Yeah, he was the stepdad in Shaun of the Dead. He was also in.
He was in Harry Potter.
He was
Angus Fitch.
Yeah, he played Fitch in all the Harry Potter films.
Harry
so
Potter
I think
films.
He was the biggest. I mean, this was a UK.
He was
film.
Definitely the biggest. The biggest
star. I'm going to say he's probably the biggest star that we would know here in the States because this was a very much a British film.
Yes. Yeah.
And very timely too, because you could feel the Brexit in this movie.
Could you?
Yeah. Because a lot of that Brexit shit was based on a lot of the Indian, how we're all in the States.
Because it was all the there was very much the undertone of the whole racism of this family about hating Indians and hating the Indian influence and the Indian immigration into London. Yes.
So
which let me just get this out of the way. I don't know what it is. I really don't understand it. But I have learned I have a real thing for Indian chicks.
Okay.
And I don't really understand it. I don't really know where it comes from.
Some of them are fantastically, just absolutely beautiful. If you look at...
This chick in this movie...
She's very beautiful.
Is so gorgeous.
Yeah. Well,
Good
look at
Lord.
Priyanka Chopra, who married Nick Jonas.
Which is weird.
Yeah.
But even I don't this is weird. This is hard to say. You watch the Food Network.
Yeah.
Even that, what's her name? Sequeira.
Yeah.
I watch her.
Chopped?
Yes, I watch her on shows. And she's not thin. She's not, and I'm just gosh.
Or even what's her name on Top Chef? Padma on Top Chef.
Yes, just beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful as well.
I don't know what it is,
dude.
I don't know, and maybe I don't know.
Maybe one day you and I should just come up to the AMC up here because they do all the Bollywood movies up here.
I'd go.
I would go to check it out. I've never seen a Bollywood movie.
I've never seen a Bollywood movie. I would go.
All right, we'll figure one out and we'll watch it, and then we'll do a special edition Netflix and chill at the movies.
Done. I'm in.
Right on. We'll figure it out.
All right, but await further instructions.
Yes. So basically the premise of this film is this dude played by Sam Gittins. His name is Nick. He brings his girlfriend home for Christmas. And as the movie goes on, you find out that he hasn't been home in like 5 years.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good relationship with his family because his family's a bunch of racists and a bunch of
they're a bunch of
shitbags.
They're basically like a trailer trash family.
Yeah,
from
well, certainly
England.
the father and the grandfather are shitbags. The mother seems to be just trying desperately
keep it together. The sister is totally a shitbag, and
sister's
her boyfriend
a first-class
is
cunt.
And her husband, boyfriend, baby daddy is just a total douche.
Total douchebag.
Like
yes.
a total, just a weak, like a weak ass little bitch.
Very, he's a very beta male and wants desperately to be an alpha.
Yeah.
Yes.
Totally. So
yes. And he acts like an alpha. Yes, he's the worst kind of beta because he acts like an alpha around other men.
Right. Totally. So he brings her home for Christmas, and Mom is like he introduces her as they walk in the door, and Mom is like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah,
because
she sees the Indian girlfriend.
Right, and it's almost one of those where like you could see that Mom is like cool with it, but she knows that it's going to be a problem.
Yeah, everyone else is
right. She's like, "Oh, you're home, and you've got a girl, and she's beautiful," and
I had a very Get Out feeling.
Yeah,
at the first part of this movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So then, like all this shit goes down, and basically, it gets to the point where they're having Christmas dinner, and Granddad says a bunch of racist shit, and Dad says a bunch of dumb racist shit, and next thing you know, like Nick gets up away from the table. He's like, "Fuck you all! I can't handle this. This is some bullshit."
Right.
And he ends up like fucking off. He and his girlfriend fuck off to the bedroom, and then they're like, "We can't do this." Like, no, I'm done. We're done with this. We are completely done. We'll just go to sleep. We'll wake up early before anybody gets up. We'll fuck off and fuck these people. We're done.
They decide they're going to leave super early in the morning before everybody gets up so they can get away from the family. And that's when they walk downstairs and
open the door.
And discover that,
Yeah, they open up the door and there's this fucking wall
of
something.
Metal.
Some type of metal against the door.
Metal.
And they're like, okay, that's weird. So they go to the other door, and that door is covered.
And all the
from
windows.
the exterior. So the entire, any exit to this house is completely covered by this black, monolith shit. They can't figure it out what it is. And then they look into the family room, and the TV is on, and it says, await further instructions.
Yes. And at this point, I am with this movie.
Yeah.
100%. Maybe not 100%. But I'm there.
Yeah, it's like a Black episode or Black Mirror episode.
It's creepy. It's weird.
Twilight Zone-y.
Yes, it's got a very Twilight Zone feel, very Black Mirror type feel to it. The characters in the movie are a little over the top at this point with the whole racism, but at least it's only really the grandpa that's over the top. And
but then the dad is like sucking the government's dick the whole time.
Well, that doesn't happen yet.
Right.
Because that's what I'm at this point, you haven't gotten that feeling yet, and that's why I'm saying, like, at this point, I'm with this because there's nothing that's happened that I'm like, okay, like, I can't deal with this anymore.
Right.
But that's to come real soon here, because at the point where the whole family wakes up, this is when the father, he becomes like completely fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, the government. This is obviously the government. They think that this is going on. We must listen to what's going on the television.
Right. We must obey the television regardless of what it says all the time, every time. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, at some point, I kept thinking, at some point, somebody has some sense. It has to have some fucking sense.
But they did, though. Nick and his girlfriend were like the voices of reason.
They were the only two, but the rest of the family was so completely out of it.
Yeah, like, and you know that the they explain that what was the girlfriend's name? Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. It's right here. I got it. Angie. So Angie was like, she's a nurse or a doctor of some type. She's some type of medical professional. Oh. And at one point, they're like, "Oh, there's a virus. You need to be vaccinated."
They drop fucking syringes down the chimney.
Yeah, and then
the TV tells the family to vaccinate
themselves. Yeah, and then the Angie is like, "These aren't sterilized.
Right.
Like, you're gonna just blindly like shoot this shit
and
into your...
Dad doesn't even give a shit.
Nope, he's
Dad
like... Well,
just running forward like he's a fucking bull in a fucking
dude,
china
they
shop.
Could have told...
jab him with the fucking needle.
They could have told Dad to slice his dick off, stick it through a glory hole, and then sew it back on after God knows what, and he would have fucking blindly done it.
And he would have blindly done it, and he would have... They could have told, yes, anything that came on that television, Dad was doing.
Yeah.
And this is why, at this point, this movie starts to lose me.
See, but I also think it's kind of a commentary on the... I mean, I think it's a very strong political commentary movie as much as it is a weird sci-fi film.
This is what I thought, too.
Yeah.
For a while.
Until
the whole
spoilers.
The whole movie goes fucking backwards, and everything gets fucking crazy, and the pregnant sister-in-law the pregnant sister dies on the couch.
She because of infection or something.
Because of an infection that nobody wants to fucking treat.
Right. And, except for Angie, but she can't do anything about it.
Right. And Angie and Nick, is it?
Nick.
Angie and Nick actually stuck themselves with the fucking needles when I didn't think they were going to stick themselves with the needles, but the needles didn't go anywhere. Nothing ever happened from the fucking needles. I'm just going to spoil it. This was the worst movie I've ever fucking seen in my entire fucking life. This was awful.
Really? I've seen way worse movies than this.
Well, here's the thing. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. Because at this point in the movie where they're sticking themselves with the syringes and shit is starting to go really fucking crazy and the TV's getting a little bit weird and Dad is full on in bootlicking government mode.
Right.
Grandpa drops dead from the fucking syringe.
Yeah.
Okay. Nick and Angie are the only two voices of reason. The brother-in-law,
Scott.
I assume he's the brother-in-law.
I don't think they were married.
Well, he's the baby daddy.
The baby daddy,
yeah.
So it would have been Scott.
He's playing tough guy so that Dad will like him.
Right.
And then the sister is...
Holly, she's just white trash.
Well, she's completely white trash, freaking trailer park, knocked up trailer park fucking... And now she's ticked about everything.
Mm-hmm.
And the whole thing starts to go fucking sideways. Everybody starts to act really fucking weird. The TV's making stupid, crazy stuff, and you're like, okay, maybe this is just some commentary, like you said. Maybe this is some kind of I don't know. There's some deeper thing here where this is satire, or it's something that I'm supposed to be picking out of here. Like, what is the purpose of this? What is the meaning of all of this? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Where is this all going? What do these characters all mean?
Right.
Because it's obvious that they're so far over the top. Certainly with the dad, he's so far over the top that he's got to mean something, right? There has to be something there where he's just a caricature, right? And there's nothing ever there,
right?
Like nothing. I don't mean to go all the way to the end and spoil the end, but nothing is ever there with Dad.
Right.
There's nothing.
He's just a blind patriot.
That's it. And I'm not supposed to, there's nothing to learn from him. There's no like point where like my light bulb went on and I thought, oh, I get it. He's an image of blah, blah, blah. No, he's just a dick who's poorly acted and poorly written.
Yeah, but like he would also like fall well within the boundaries of a Trump supporter.
You think he would?
I totally think he would.
I don't know, man.
Dude, there are people that still suck that man's orange dick despite everything.
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, really, he's really any kind of... I mean, you could make the argument that there's a lot of Obama supporters that would be in the same boat. I mean, there's still people who talk about how awesome Obama was, despite the fact that he started 7 wars. I'm not going there.
Right, this is a movie podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose I get it. But he was so far over the top, man.
But but then again, I liked a lot of the what is actually going on? Is it a terrorist attack?
Yeah, I was waiting.
Is it the government? And then you come to find out it's goddamned aliens or some weird shit.
It isn't even aliens. It's just the fucking TVs.
Yeah, but there was an alien in the TV. Remember the one TV
she
busted?
Said she saw something
moving
in the
TV.
Yeah,
but you saw it after they broke the TV.
Yeah,
like there was a fucking creature in the TV
that was demanding to be worshipped.
Yeah,
that was so weird, man.
I like weird movies.
Yeah, I do too, but this was just man, I don't know. I didn't really care for the claymation shit at the end with the wires coming out of the TV.
Yeah, that was so. What's the budget on this thing? I mean, it was a real low.
$10,
dude. Seriously, it was like 4 fucking like.
You and I could have made this with an iPhone and a couple of coax cables.
No, I mean it might have been, like, it was a way low budget movie because there was truly 2 sets.
It had to be.
Like it was.
Well, there was only it was the downstairs, the family room,
and the bedroom,
Let's
see.
All right, I'm going to walk back from this being the worst movie I've ever seen.
Okay.
I'm going to walk that back a little bit. I came in here fully prepared to defend this as the worst movie I've ever seen. But now that we're talking, I don't know if I could say that.
Well, I mean, it did get a 4.9 on fucking IMDb.
It was still really bad.
See, I liked it.
It was just... Here's why it was bad for me. Because, like I said, all through this movie... Like, the first part of the movie, the setup is really good. Act one, I thought, was very suspenseful.
Sure.
You knew something was coming. I like the whole racism angle. Not that I'm a fan of racism.
No, but the play on that was really well done.
Right. I like that. I like the way that was done, and I the whole Act 1 thing. I thought this is going somewhere, and I think I'm going to enjoy this.
Mm-hmm.
And then Act 2 starts off, and you get the metal bars or the metal whatever it is outside the thing and the TV, and it's like, okay, I get it, and this is weird, and it's not it's kind of out there, and I'm not sure that it's believable, but I'm going to go with it. I'm going to suspend belief, and I'm going to go with it. And it's during Act 2 when Dad and the brother-in-law or the whatever, baby daddy, and the sister just go so far off the rails as this caricature that they're playing.
Sure.
Where it's like, I just start to go, all right, at some point all of this has to come around to some greater, grand meaning and purpose of, oh my God, I get it. I get it now. Yeah, you were doing satire. You were doing these cartoonish characters to show me something at the end and to give me this message at the end.
Sure.
And give me this thing at the end. And then as it turns out, this thing at the end is claymation wires that attack people.
Yeah, the special effects weren't very special. In this
no,
movie
and
whatsoever.
I could have even lived with that if, like I said, if at the end of the movie you brought these cartoonish characters around to actually give me something and to actually give me a payoff and show me something at the end, and you never did. Well, and then you killed the only people that I actually gave a shit about.
Right.
Like, and I thought they were going to live.
Yeah.
I really hoped she was going to live. I really, really hoped she was
Apparently,
gonna live.
for the domestic box office, this movie made $3,617.
I can't believe it made that much. $3,000?
Yeah.
That's like 20 people.
Yeah. Domestic DVD sales, I don't know if this is...
That can't be right. It had to have made more than $3,000.
Yeah, but I don't know where this website is from. So, I mean, if this is...
Domestic meaning U.S. sales?
$0. Domestic.
It did not make any money.
But then again, this might have been... Oh, this is a UK film.
Okay. Well,
so, so it only was in... Opening weekend theater was one theater. It was only released in one theater. And it made $3,617 and during its...
in one theater.
Yes. So, international box office, let's see here, 15,000 cumulative.
I wanted to like this movie.
Or no, 3,617. So it looks like it was put out on one screen and one screen alone during the thing. But on DVD sales and Blu-ray sales, it was $16,000. They never made dick off of this movie.
Okay. You know what would have made this movie better is, and maybe this is the message they were trying to tell, but they just never got there, or they just didn't do it well.
Okay.
What would have made this movie better is if at the end, the payoff, because at the end of the movie, the whole thing was the television kept saying, worship me, worship me, worship me, right? If at the end of this movie, the payoff is, oh my God, I get it. You're telling me a cartoonish, satire-ish type story where you're essentially mocking the fact that our culture, Western culture today, worships reality television.
It's possible. Yeah.
Maybe that's what they were trying to do, but it was so far. And you know what? I'm starting to change a little bit of my tune here. Because, okay, so follow me here on this.
Okay.
Because I'm about to get really weird. So we both admit that Dad is way over the top.
Absolutely.
Like so unrealistically over the top. Like I grant you there's probably a couple of Trump supporters that are that crazy, but let's acknowledge that Dad is way
over the edge.
Way over the edge.
But then again, you also have to think, in a time of a fucking extreme crisis like this, what do people do?
Would you try to kill your son? Because he tried to kill his own kid.
Right. But then again, like, their relationship was way strained.
It was bad anyway. I don't care how bad your kid. I don't care how bad it is.
You
wouldn't try and violently murder your own son.
Right.
Okay. So all the characters in this are way over the top.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing a part that they think they're supposed to be playing.
Sure.
In this disaster scenario. Not unlike what we see in every fucking reality television show.
Okay.
Where these people who are cast as reality TV stars, we all know, get there and then immediately take on some persona that they're going to decide to play to the camera so that they can become big stars. I'm thinking specifically of shows like The Bachelor, Bachelorette.
Which The Bachelor just ended, because I know I watched it.
I fucking hate it. Okay, I've seen like 3 episodes of the whole thing. I can't stand watching.
Oh, I fucking can't stand it either. My wife, on the other hand, loves it.
So you have these characters that are basically real life reality television shows. Because weren't they watching a reality TV show at some point in the thing?
I can't remember.
They were.
It's possible.
So then at the end of this, you have this whole idea of worship me. Maybe this is really what this movie was supposed to be doing, was worship me is this whole idea of it's mocking our Western culture, worshiping reality television, and showing how foolish and crazy it is that these people are so far over the top.
Yeah.
Right? In a real life situation, these people in this house are so far over the top, not unlike
the worst
reality TV stars.
The worst of Big Brother ever.
Right.
But at the same time, though, like, you never got the point that the fact that you never got the sense that they thought they were being watched for pleasure by somebody else.
But there are multiple points in this movie where the kid, Nick, says they can see us. Somebody's watching us.
Right.
Somebody's watching us.
They had to. Someone had. Yeah, it was the creatures in the television.
Well, we know that at the end of the movie, and that's why I say maybe this isn't the worst movie of all time. But like, because if this is what it was meant to do, then it's just that the last 10 minutes didn't work.
Maybe that was what it was. You did not like the
so
total
fell
like
flat.
Weird, crazy.
Fell flat.
It fell flat. Like, but yeah, because like
I've had a lot of bourbon.
You've had a few bourbons.
I'm okay.
But like, well, that in the like, I don't know. And here I am with my mind. I'm like, they were watching old tube TVs. There was not a flat screen in the whole fucking house.
Right.
You know, like, how could that fucking creature, like, but yeah, like, and then like the wires come into the house and start fucking murdering everybody.
The end fucking blew. This is why I say, like, I was prepared to come in here and say it was the worst movie ever because the end was so bad, and I still think the end was so bad.
They could have ended it on a better. They could have figured. It was almost like they like came up all to like the end of the second act, and they were like, "Man, we got some hot shit right here." And then at the end of the second act, they were like, "Well, what do we do? Spider monsters out of the fucking." Like,
oh my god, claymation spider monsters.
Yeah,
I don't know if this whole thing I've laid out with the whole worshiping reality television and then all of these characters kind of mocking reality television, right, in showing how absurd reality television stars are.
Sure.
I don't know if this is what they really had in mind, but if it is, they
nailed it.
They've nailed it for an hour and 10 minutes.
Right.
And then they fucking screwed the pooch.
Yeah,
because the end of this is so bad.
Yeah,
because
the way that I saw it was like I saw it as more like a criticism of Brexit because of the racism that was going on because of the Indian girlfriend.
Okay,
I saw it as a criticism of the blind following and blind patriotism with the dad and the granddad.
Yeah.
You know, and the granddad was just a codgerly old bastard.
Yeah, he was a pretty good prick.
When he fucking died, I was glad. Like, I've never really been too glad for somebody to die in a movie. When he died, I was fucking like, you right on. I'm fucking glad.
Adios,
you're dead,
motherfucker.
Right? Fuck you. And then it just turned into a weird sci-fi horror movie after that with the weird tentacle monsters. It almost would have been better if it turned into crazy hentai Japanese fucking tentacle porn at that point. But then it wouldn't have been on Netflix.
Even the weird yeah, right. But even the weird low budget of the final scenes.
They could have done something.
It wasn't
way
just
better.
that. It wasn't because I've watched The Twilight Zone. And The Twilight Zone is as low budget as it gets.
Yeah, The Twilight Zone's also 70 years old.
Understood.
And it's black and white, and you can get away with a lot more back then.
Okay, but it's not just the low budget of the special effects. It's the you lost the story.
Yeah.
You completely lost me. You were, again, if this was what you were trying to do, whether it was, like you said, this commentary on racism and blind patriotism, or it was this commentary on Western culture and worshiping television. And worshiping, you lost it. You completely lost it because it's like you got to this point, whatever story you were trying to tell, you got to that point an hour and 10, an hour and 15 minutes, and you go, and it was like the writers looked around and went, well, what do we do?
Right. Oh,
fuck.
It was like
make some fucking wires come out of the TV and eat them all.
Cool. It was almost like watching a Monty Python. Yeah, because then the wires went through the dad's back of his head.
Yes.
And he was kind of controlling him like a marionette, but not quite.
Which could very well be symbolic of the whole idea of television. Worshiping television and television controlling our lives,
or the government controlling.
Controlling.
See,
our lives.
I think what it was, maybe where it failed was it was trying to make too many social points. Look, if you would have made it more of a racism thing, that's one thing. If you would have made it more blind patriotism, that's another thing. But maybe this movie suffered from having too many grand ideas,
too many causes that it wanted to. Too many causes it wanted to take on, and then it never
there
brought
was no
it around
good resolution
to resolve all this, to tell you this was the story we were telling, this is what we were doing, right?
Yeah.
This is where we were going with this. It never did that.
True.
To me it was that was the problem with it, because the payoff was so fucking shitty.
Fuck this shit.
I'm like, wait a minute, are you kidding? It's fucking wires coming out of the TV?
Right.
Fuck, is this terrible? Jeez.
Stupid wires. Shows
wires.
Right. And but the weird thing was at the end of it, it was almost like a drone came out of the chimney and it zoomed out into the neighborhood, and every house was experiencing the same thing.
At that point, I was so far removed from giving a shit about what was happening that, yes, I remember seeing that, but it was I didn't even try and make sense of it.
But then,
because it was oh, whatever.
Where were the syringes coming from?
Well, yeah.
Where did all the shit that was delivered come from?
Right.
Weird, wire.
Okay, so here we go. Right, here's some crazy fucking. I'm the Alex Jones of this podcast. Here's some fucking weird shit. So aliens have invaded Earth, and they have taken over televisions, and they're demanding worship through your TV or whatever, or they're demanding worship and blind patriotism, right, through your TV, whatever it is. And so it really is just the aliens flying around. It wasn't a drone.
Right.
It was actually a fucking spaceship, and they dropped and they turned the frogs gay. No.
And they were raping children in the basement of a pizza parlor. Fucking Alex Jones, piece of shit. He's a garbage human.
He's
a garbage human.
He's just not all there.
No, he's a garbage human.
Well, he's playing a character now, and he's at the point where he's beyond like.
I totally skipped his 4.5 hour.
I listened to it because he's so much fun to listen to, man.
God,
he's a fucking crazy person.
He's a fucking insane person.
But yeah, okay. But
I'm
back
drinking
to the
more
movie.
of your cake frosting whiskey.
Go ahead, man. Back to the movie. Yes, I think it was the payoff. The payoff wasn't there. It just wasn't. It's so far. It so missed the mark.
Yeah,
that
totally
it was like it wasn't even like it wasn't like you could look at it and go, okay, well, so you meant this to be about XYZ, and I thought it was a better story about ABC or whatever, and now you're telling me it was like no, you didn't even tell me. You just missed it, man.
Right.
Like we came up with at least like 4 or 5 theories just sitting here
right.
about what this could have been saying. And I don't have a fucking clue what it was really saying.
Right.
Because you didn't fucking tell me.
Yeah, it never got to the like I remember being in college and be like, show, don't tell. You know?
Yeah, right.
Well, fuck you, tell me.
Tell me. At some point you have to fucking tell me.
Right. Because if you're not if whatever you're showing me is not getting the point across, you gotta fucking say what's going on.
Because otherwise, like I said, when the final scene when the drone pulls out of the fucking the chimney and shows all the other houses, at that point all I'm thinking is, oh, so this is what was the Tom Cruise movie, War of the Worlds? Oh, so this is War of the Worlds. It's an alien invasion. Okay,
right.
Whatever. I don't fucking know what grander message you had for me.
Right. I don't know. Don't care. Fuck you.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Anyway, so we know what you're got to say for this one.
Yeah, I'm absolutely fuck this movie. I mean, 4.9 I think is at least 3.9. 4.9 on IMDb is at least 3.9 points too high. This is so bad. It's so bad. And like I said, Act 1 was good. Act 2 was okay as long as you think you're going somewhere, and then in Act 3 it's just like
shut the bed.
Fuck. You know what it is? Yeah.
Yeah, I can tell Tom's a little drunk right now. You know what?
I'm not going there.
I'm
not going there. Nope, I'm not going. What was this for you? I'm not going there.
I'll give it a F. You know what? Fuck yeah, whatever. Just watch the movie. It's interesting. Yeah, it's still a fun watch. Like, it's crazy and insane, and it doesn't go anywhere. But it was, if you want to just shut your fucking brain off and watch crazy tentacle wire monsters fuck up a house at the end of it, go for it.
Oh man! All right.
I think this is the first real break that you and I have had between movies.
We've had a couple here and there, but this is the first one where
this is one where the first one where you were vehemently like, "Fuck this movie right in the mouth." Fuck this movie in the mouth.
This is close to one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life.
Dude, have you seen Terror Vision?
No, but I've seen Tremors, and that was really fucking bad.
Yeah, well, they made 9 sequels to that.
Yeah, they were all equally as bad.
Well, somebody was watching them.
Terror Vision? I haven't.
Terror
What
Vision.
is that?
Oh, it came out in 87, I want to say. Hold on.
Dude, I've watched all of the Sharknadoes.
Oh my god.
Okay, I've seen every Sharknado. This was worse.
No.
I'd rather watch Sharknado.
At least it was, dude, Sharknado, the acting had to have been at least worse.
Oh, it's horrendous.
I will give that. The acting.
That was cute.
Well, yeah, I knocked the mic. The acting in this movie was not bad.
No. Yeah, I'll give you that.
The acting was not bad.
I'll give you that. Certainly from Nick and Angie. Nick and Angie were great. The grandfather for the character he was playing was fantastic. The mother, the sister, and the
mother
baby
was,
daddy had such bit parts. That,
yeah,
I mean, it wasn't a bit part, but they didn't have a lot of.
There was not a lot of depth. But then again, it was total the mother in this one may as well have been the mother from Shaun of the Dead. There was really not a whole lot. She was just like, oh, I want to keep everything together. So
whoever this is, I hate to keep going back to this. Whoever this is that plays Angie in this movie, this woman, she's she was very good. I will say, as an actress, she was very good. Never mind her look. Never mind my thing for Indian chicks and her being extremely attractive. But she was very good in this movie. I'll grant you that. I am. I'm fucking And apparently, my thing for Indian chicks probably makes me racist too. I don't know.
All right, so Terror Vision, because let's talk about an even better fucking awful horror movie. 1986. A family's new satellite TV system starts receiving signals from another planet and soon becomes a passageway for an alien world. So basically, they have like this massive C-band satellite that zaps in like this fucking like horror monster from another fucking.
For the record, this got a 5.7.
It's got a better rating.
It got a better rating than that piece of shit that we just watched.
Yeah. Ted Nicolau was the. Oh wow, you can watch it on Prime.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Although I'm looking at some of the. Oh, dude, what the fuck is this thing?
That's the monster that eats
this
everybody.
This is the big monster that eats everybody?
Yeah, dude.
This has got to be horrible. But here's the thing.
It's fucking terrible.
Okay.
But it scared the fuck out of me in 1987.
But
as a 9-year-old.
Is this horribly bad?
Oh, it's fucking god
to the
awful.
point where it's horribly good.
Yes.
Okay, then see, that's the thing. Because Attack of the Killer Tomatoes, have you ever seen that?
I have not seen the Tomatoes movie.
Horrendously bad. But really fucking good.
I will say, though, that...
Because it's so bad.
Right.
You're looking for shit. Well, you're looking for shit while you're talking.
No.
This is the problem.
One of the actors in Terror Vision.
You give him a big studio thing with computers and shit,
fancy.
and all of a sudden he starts fucking clicking shit, and he's playing with dials, and now he's not fucking paying attention.
No, I'm totally paying attention because one of the guys in the movie, John Grease, played Victor Laszlo in Real Science.
Vision? Oh, okay.
So the Laszlo.
Real Science.
He was also Uncle Rico in Napoleon Dynamite.
Dude, Uncle Rico's the fucking greatest.
Yeah.
I bet I could throw a football over those mountains.
In 1987. Oh, it's the Super
Dude,
Bowl
everybody has an Uncle Rico, right?
Right, totally.
I have not seen Terror Vision. At least I don't remember seeing it.
If you have Prime, you should watch it. It's fucking awful.
I have Prime. I'll watch it.
It's fucking awful.
Yeah, I'll watch it. I've got such a fucking long list of shit.
But seriously, dude, when I was a kid, I saw that on a New Year's Eve at my mom's landlord's house. Because we were like, I was friends with the neighbors were friends with the landlords. Mm-hmm. And I was over there hanging out for New Year's Eve, and they watched this movie on New Year's Eve, and I probably pee-peed a little because it was fucking terrifying for a 9-year-old.
Terror Vision. I'm trying to think of what I'm trying to think
That
of.
movie is one of those movies that left a lasting imprint on my psyche. When I saw Rocky Horror Picture Show when I was like 4 at the drive-in, or when I saw Heavy Metal when I was like 5 at the drive-in because my mom got wasted and passed out in the fucking car. And here I am watching this fucked up ass movie as a fucking like a toddler.
I saw the original Assault on Precinct 13 as a child, which was, what year was that? Assault on Precinct 13. The first one was I have to look it up.
1976.
The first one was 1976, which means it would have been to video somewhere around 70. Probably 78, 79.
Did they have VCRs then?
At the time, it was, yes. We had fucking VCRs, you asshole.
I was just born at that time.
I was 10 years old at the most.
Sure.
And I saw the original Assault on Precinct 13. And if you've never seen this, dude, there's a scene in the fucking first probably 15 minutes of the movie where, like, the gang takes over this ice cream truck, and this kid comes back to the ice cream truck after he orders an ice cream and then goes away and then comes back and because he didn't get his sprinkles, and he says, "Hey, mister, I said I wanted sprinkles." And the guy fucking turns and just unloads into this fucking kid. Unloads into this through the ice cream all over. And I'm like 10 years old watching this going, holy fuck. I was scarred. I'm probably still scarred. It probably explains a lot about me. But yeah, that was fucking horrifying.
John Carpenter wrote and directed that.
The original Assault on Precinct 13. Yeah,
because they remade it in 2006.
Yeah, which was not as good.
No.
Yeah, it was not nearly as as interesting. But
Yeah.
Carpenter. Wow, fuck.
Yeah,
man.
John Carpenter wrote that and directed it.
Okay, yeah, I forgot about that, but yeah, you're right. Yeah,
But
he
still,
did
for
that.
me,
He did,
for best bang for your buck, They Live.
oh yeah. Oh come on,
Dude.
Dude, watch. You know, the first time I ever saw They Live, I was high as a fucking kite. And
Really?
that fight scene between Roddy Piper and that dude,
Yeah.
I forget the actor's name, in the alley. I swear to God, man.
It's one of the greatest fight scenes of all
I thought
time.
it felt like an hour and a half long.
Yeah, I think it was like a 15-minute fight
It was
scene.
very long, and I was very high, so it was even longer. It was great. Yeah,
Dude,
that's a great movie.
Did you ever see South Park do it?
No. Did they do a? Did
yes.
they parody it or something?
They parodied it as a cripple
shit.
fight
Oh God.
between Jimmy
With,
and
Jimmy.
one of the other handicapped kids,
Oh shit,
and they did it like fucking beat for beat, dude.
dude! I've got to
It's
see that.
amazing.
I'm sure it's on YouTube. I'll have to find
Oh,
it.
for sure, dude. For
Yeah,
sure.
That's. Oh yeah, They Live is a great movie.
Oh man.
Oh my God.
Obey, obey, obey.
Dude, I'm all out of bubblegum. I
That was-
came
that-
here to kick ass and,
and chew bubble gum.
And I'm all out of bubblegum.
That was an ad-libbed line.
Yeah,
Piper
a lot of that
ad-libbed
was
that.
ad-libbed, right? A lot of that movie I heard later
Yeah.
was ad-libbed because
It was like-
Piper was a Roddy Piper. I forget his real name, but
Yeah,
he was very
It was Roderick Toombs.
Roderick Toombs.
Was
He
his
was
real name.
he was apparently a lot smarter and a lot more well-read guy than you would think.
Yeah.
Given that he wore a fucking kilt
Yeah.
and
And he was a
pro
professional wrestler. Yeah, I used to listen. He used to have a podcast before he passed away. It called the Rod Pod,
Oh, okay.
and I used to listen to it religiously because, Roddy Piper was my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, even as a bad guy.
Yeah, he was listed as like they voted him as the #1 heel in wrestling of all time.
I'm trying to think. Macho Man was a heel for a while.
Yeah, and then he went babyface, and
And
then he
then
went
he-
heel again. But then
right.
again, so did Piper.
So did Piper. Well, Piper went heel, face, heel, right?
Yeah, but Piper was a badass bad guy.
Piper as a bad guy was the thing that made Piper a great bad guy was he was the first bad guy who you hated because of who he was, because of his attitude.
Yeah,
You
He
hated
just
him.
didn't give a
like
fuck.
the Iron Sheik was before him, and the Russian guy or whatever. You hated
Nikolai
them because
Volkov.
Nikolai Volkov. You hated them because they were Russian or they were from Iran or
Right.
whatever. But Roddy Piper was the first heel that you really hated just
he was
because
just an asshole.
He was just a dick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he smacked the fuck out of Cyndi
Yeah.
Lauper.
Yes.
Like-
right.
And then, like, later on, he was like, in his later years, during the thing, he was like, they did that big press conference for the first WrestleMania or whatever it was, and he smacked her, like, hard smacked her.
Yeah.
And he says that's one of the things he regrets to this day
Was
was
that he
doing it
really
because
fucking-
and he's apologized. Oh, dude.
Sorry.
But no, don't feel bad. But he apologized because he was like, she was a wonderful woman and she was very smart and she did what, she was just a good human being. And he's like, that's the one thing I regret out of all my career.
Hey, it was professional wrestling. If you were involved, you were gonna get fucking cracked.
Dude, those people were fucking hardcore.
There's a reason that a lot of those guys end up committing suicide and with weird
Or
fucking
dead.
shit or dead or whatever because it's a hard life.
Yeah.
Man. 300 and some shows a year they do.
Yeah.
And they're fucking drugged out of their mind
Because they have to be.
because they have to be to maintain that physique and to maintain the recovery.
Yeah.
There's no way you can recover from being thrown off of 8, 10 feet, 12 feet in the air
Yeah.
to land on your back, every night of the week for
Well,
a week.
and like he basically explained what the mats were.
Oh yeah, no, they're just
It's plywood,
Right.
with a little piece of fucking fabric
Foam
on the
over
top.
of it.
Not even foam. It's like just like fabric.
Well, you heard? Did you listen to the Jake the Snake Roberts interview on Joe Rogan?
Yeah,
it's fucking great, man.
dude, I want to see that documentary. I think that's up
Dude,
on Netflix.
It
too.
is on Netflix, yeah. And
The-
it's
the
really,
Resurrection of Jake the
it's
Snake Roberts.
Really good. And
Yeah.
just, what this guy's been through, man, is unbelievable.
Yeah.
And just,
Well, dude, he was molested and then became like a fucking crack addict.
he
and-
was a fucking drug addict, and then he
Dude.
was on pain pills, and just he was a mess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Anyway,
We're way off the rails,
way
man.
off the rails.
All right.
All right. For,
So what did we do? Await further instructions.
yeah.
We
So-
did that. I said fuck this movie. You
I
said,
said,
fuck yeah. We got to pick another movie.
All right, it's on you this week.
It's me. So I am going to go with Hell or High Water with Chris Pine and why can't I think of the other actor's name?
The dude.
Who? Oh, fucking dude, help me. I'm lost. Jeff Bridges. Shit. Holy fuck. I've had enough.
Next thing you know, you're going to fall asleep in your car in the fucking driveway, and
I might. Yeah, I'll be sleeping in my fucking. At least this time I have a truck. I can sleep in the bed of the truck.
It's 32 degrees outside. That's not happening.
That's all right. I got a couple blankets.
Many couches.
Hell or High Water, which apparently is really I've
heard it's fantastic.
High rated. It's supposed to be very, very good. I've never seen it. I probably should have already watched it.
I think that was nominated for some type of Oscar. I don't know if it's a Western, but it definitely is
kind of has
Western. It's Nouveau Western.
Nouveau Western. So
in
it
the
has
same.
That,
it's like that No Country for Old Men.
I was going right there. Yeah. So that's what we're doing next time around.
All right. Well, for Netflix and chill this week.
What?
Huh?
For Netflix and chill. Go.
Fuck you. Oh. This asshole.
This is what happens.
For Netflix and chill this week, I'm Reuben.
I'm Tom.
Leave Brittany. I'm Brittany, bitch. It's Brittany, bitch.
Leave Brittany alone.
God damn it! I can't even not fuck it up.